Hey y'all, welcome to or welcome back to our very bookish channel. And in today's video, Jen and I are going to be reading the books that we pulled from our most anticipated TBR jar. Alright, so if y'all missed our March TBR, then go back and watch that, because in that video we selected a book from our most anticipated list. We have TBR jars of all our most anticipated reads, and every other month we pull out of the TBR jar a book, and I'm so excited for this book, y'all. I got The Half King by Melissa Landers, and I have owned this book since it came out. It is gorgeous, and I have been dying to read it. I think I'm going to read just a little bit right now and see. This is a new author to me, so I kind of want to see her pacing and her writing. On the back it says, "A kingdom of secrets, a palace of lies, a curse that could shatter her world." Okay, and I know it's a romantasy. Okay, there's some actually really pretty art in the book right here. So obviously there's our female and male main characters, and in true fantasy fashion there is a map. So sometimes those come in handy for me, but sometimes I don't even look at them. So let me know what you all think. Do you all actually pay attention to your maps and pronunciation guides and the list of names in the books? I mean, sometimes I do, but sometimes I don't need to.
Hey guys, welcome to most anticipated TBR jar reads. I am starting on the pick that I got from the jar. If you had watched our March TBR video, you'll see that I got Rule of Three by Sam Ripley. And you'll notice I don't have a book that I'm holding up. I don't own it. And I was going to go to the library. I saw that the library had it near me. I haven't been outside much. I've only been out of the house once since I had my surgery. So I was not going to go to the library just yet. I was going to attempt it today, but it is very rainy and windy outside. It did not feel like a great day to be attempting my first drive after my surgery. So I have decided, I haven't done this yet that I can remember anyway, I've decided to listen to the audio for the whole entire book in this vlog. So I am going to be commenting obviously on the audio for how that goes, because sometimes it depends on the narrator. And one of my pet peeves for audio, I don't know how you guys feel if when you do audio, that I hate when sometimes the voice actor, I guess you would call the person, I'm not sure, does all kinds of different voices. And I think I might not be alone in if the voice is not pleasant to listen to, or if there are weird things about how it's being narrated, then it's going to mar my view of this book. I was just texting with a friend about this because she had chosen to listen to an audio of something I had read, and I thought, depending on how that audio version reads, it may not, she may end up having a different opinion about it. But that'll be one of the things for this video is what do you guys think with audio? Do you do audio? What are some of the things that you love with audiobooks? What are some things that are deal breakers that you have to skip it and either read the book or skip the book? I did see that it was on, I believe, Libby, and I'm going to listen to it. I am going to struggle a little bit, to be honest, because typically when I do audio, I am driving for work. And since I'm not back to work yet, I am going to be listening to it when I'm at home. So some of the things that I do with audio when I'm at home is if I am folding laundry, or if since I was resting a lot after surgery, I was just laying down and listening to it. But typically I don't just like to sit and listen. I don't know if it's something just about me that I can't just sit and listen to something. I also have that problem when we're watching TV or watching a movie, I'm typically looking at things on my phone or doing something else. I can't just, and I think it's something that happened as I got older, because I don't remember, I mean, obviously I went to movies a lot when I was younger, and when you're in a movie theater, you're gonna be just sitting there watching the movie. But when I'm at home, it is really hard for me to just sit and either listen or watch a movie. So some things about this book before I start listening to it. I originally put this on my TBR last summer. I remember talking to a couple friends about it because it said it was a mixture of Blair Witch Project and there was something else it mixed it with. I can't remember. And it was basically about a horror myth that things come in 3, and I don't know if it's some kind of monster that's involved or some kind of curse is involved, but there's something in terms of a myth that comes in 3. Once I start listening, I will let you guys know more information because I didn't reread the description. Sometimes I like just going into it and not getting too much information before I start it. And I wanted to just jump on into this without too much forethought as to what the plot is about, and hopefully it's more explanatory and I don't have to then look things up afterwards. I will let you guys know once I have listened to it for a little while about what my thoughts are, so you will see me shortly.
Y'all, I just read the first chapter. Wow, I'm impressed. It's a tiny bit dark. It's nothing like grim dark or anything, nothing like that. But it's a little bit unsettling, and it really has set the stage for the rest of this book. That was a very good first chapter. I can't wait to keep reading this. I do want to look and see if it's on Libby, because if it's on Libby, then I can get it on my Kobo and I can sit and read it more easily, because y'all know I'm not a hardback girly. I love the hardback books. I love the way they look, but actually reading them is just not so comfortable for me. I prefer paperbacks, the way the paperbacks feel. And I've been loving my Kobo, my little e-reader. I've been reading on it every chance that I get. So I'm going to see if I can get it on Libby and finish this book on the Kobo.
All right, I tried listening to The Rule of 3, and there's something, I think it might be the narrator. I don't know if it's just one of those books that I would do better reading it. And I was going to stop at the library today. Today's the first day I am venturing out since my surgery, which has been over 2 weeks now. I was thinking maybe I should just pick it up. I saw that The Rule of 3 is going to be at the library that I usually go to, but I don't want to spend more time. And I listened to 15% of it, which I feel like is a fair amount to give it a chance. But once I thought of explaining what was going on in the book, and it's about this young girl, she survived committing suicide. Her parents had been in an accident, and she feels like she is cursed by the rule of 3, that bad things happen in 3s. And I feel like it's a common thing. Every time a celebrity passes away, you always hear, oh, who's going to be the 3 big celebrities that pass away? But she keeps asking people, have you heard of the rule of 3? And I don't know, something about it, it's just not drawing my interest. So I am going to pick another one from here, and I am going to put Rule of 3 on my DNF shelf. So hopefully I get something else that's not as bad. It is another light pink one. If you watched our March TBR, I kept getting the light pink ones. The dark pink ones are the newest ones that I put in here. And there was a couple that I wanted to read of the ones I just put in. I'm trying to open it. I think I ripped it again. The Puzzle Box by Daniel Trosoni, which I already read. And I can't remember if it was in a vlog or not, but that one has already been accomplished. So I'm gonna try again. This one looks like it's been in here a while. Some of the really, I could tell, like thicker ones, I had used like really long pieces of paper for the original one. So this one has been in here. Murder in the Family by Cara Hunter. I don't remember what that one is. So I am off to see, maybe the library will have this one, and I'm also going to be picking my book for Library Luck Secret March Read, which will be another video. So I will let you guys know if I found this one, or am I gonna have to pick another one? Because I think, I hate to say it, but I'm not gonna be doing audio. I still will be doing audio, like when I go back to work. Listening to audio in small chunks, I think works. But when I'm trying to listen for periods of time, especially if the narrator is, if the way they're narrating is irking me, it doesn't work. I don't know. You guys can comment any tips or anything you think about audio, but I still struggle with audio. So we'll see. I'll be back.
So I made it to chapter 5. In the ebook, it says page 88 of 679, but the pages in the ebooks are different depending on how you do your font. But chapter 5 in the hardcover book is page 45. So I'm on page 45, and that's this far in. And I'm really liking it so far. The very first chapter that I talked about was a little bit like jarring. It just kind of blew my mind a little bit. It was really good. You're following Cersei, and she is training to be an oracle, but she doesn't have the gift that she needs, or she doesn't think she has the gift that she needs to be an oracle. And the lady that's training her asked her to do this task, and she loves these little rabbits. There's a rabbit in a hutch, and the rabbit had babies, and there's all these little tiny babies. So she asked her to go get the rabbits, get one of the babies out of the hutch. And Cersei goes over, pulls the baby out. She loves on it and hugs it. And the woman that's training her asked her to put this little tiny baby rabbit in a box that has all these big holes in it. And the holes are big enough that a snake can slither in, but not big enough that the rabbit can get out. So it's kind of like she's forced to feed this rabbit to a snake. And the trainer says, okay, I want you to try to envision which hole the snake is going to go in, and if you can block that hole, then you can save your rabbit. If you can't, then the snake's going to eat the rabbit. So Cersei's watching, and she doesn't have the gift, and she can't decide which hole the snake is going to go in. So right before the snake strikes the rabbit, she sticks her hand in front of the rabbit, and the snake bites her instead. And the trainer is prepared. She knows, she uses magic to get the poison out of the girl, so Cersei ends up being okay. But it was just like very kind of jarring way to open the book, to show this world that you're in, to demonstrate some of the magic and how the magic works, and to kind of show you what type of person Cersei is. So a little bit later in the book, this oracle that is training Cersei has a vision, and she tells Cersei that Cersei has to go to the palace to replace someone there that had passed away. She's filling in that role that's empty. And she says that Cersei's going to do something amazing, and she has to go to the palace to fulfill this vision that this oracle had of her. The thing that the vision prophesizes is that Cersei is going to end the curses on the firstborn of the noble houses. So all the nobles that have kids, their firstborn is cursed, and each different line has different curses. And supposedly by Cersei going to the castle, she is going to be able to break this curse of the firstborn children. So we'll see. Not very far in the book, but I like to give updates when I'm not too far into the book, because that way I don't have to worry about giving too much away. and spoiling anything for anyone. So that's where I'm at, and I will check back in when I get more of the book read, but the book's reading very easy, going very fast. I think this is young adults or new adult, so it has been very easy to read and digest, and the writing is very good. I really am enjoying Melissa Lander's writing.
All right, Target acquired from the library. I was filming for the secret vlog we're doing for March, which is library luck. I have a few choices in the background that I need to choose and put in its secret pouch, but I also got book mail. I was going to open it and see what it is. It's from Macmillan, and I feel like they send very consistently to even things that I don't sign up for. And once they know your interest, they tend to, I think, send more ARCs, which is really nice, and I very much appreciate that. So thank you, Macmillan. And I feel like I might have actually signed up for this one. It's Girl in the Creek. Very much thriller up my road, and it says buried secrets only spread. Aaron's brother has been missing for 5 years. It was as if he simply walked into the forests of the Pacific Northwest and vanished. Determined to uncover the truth, Aaron heads to the foothills of Mount Hood, where Brian was last seen alive. He isn't the first hiker to go missing in this area, and their cases go unsolved. When she discovers the corpse of a local woman in a creek, Erin unknowingly puts herself in the crosshairs of very powerful forces from this world and beyond, hell-bent on keeping their secrets buried. It says pulse-pounding eco-horror. I don't know if I've ever read eco-horror before, about how climate change is transforming our world. Perfect for fans of Jeff Vandermeer, which I haven't read any of his books. He's considered science fiction, I think. And T. Kingfisher, which I still haven't tried. T. Kingfisher. I think Amanda recently read something from T. Kingfisher and she didn't like it. Thanks, Macmillan. I am gonna have to put this on one of my TBRs. And now I'm going to try Murder in the Family, not audio. And this book is probably perfect for not doing audio because I believe there's a lot of, there's stuff like this in it where you're kind of solving or helping solve the case along with the main protagonist, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I looked it up briefly. They said that it's perfect for those who love true crime podcasts and true crime, which is me. So let's hope that I have more luck with this, since I did not have luck with the audio of The Rule of Three. I will update you guys after I have some read and let you know how it's going.
Okay, y'all, so shopping at Joann's was a little bit crazy. It was way more busy than I was anticipating it was going to be, and the line to check out was crazy long. But I did pick up some scrapbooking supplies, a few baking supplies, and I think that's it. So the sale wasn't even really that good. Basically, the store was 20% off. Some things were a little bit more, like Valentine's stuff was 40% off, I think, because, you know, it's Valentine's, it's already over. But I don't know. Most of the stuff was already sold out. So people have already been here and picked through it. I don't know. I may try to come back and see if there's anything else, maybe when more things go on sale, but this store was already so depleted, there wasn't that much to choose from to begin with. So anyways, I will show you guys everything that I bought when I get home. I'll show you my haul. I just put everything in the back, so I don't want to go back there, pull it out, bring it back up here, because I wasn't thinking when I got in the car. I didn't remember to leave it up here in the front, so I will just have to give you guys the haul when I get home. I just realized I forgot to show y'all my Joann's haul like I said I would. Also, the lighting's a little weird because it is 5:30 in the morning and it's still dark outside, so doing the best I can with the lighting, but I think this is the best we got. So first, I did buy this bag. This is like a jumbo shopping bag because I wanted it for like when I shop at Sam's Club and Costco. So I did purchase this bag. I think it was like $1 or something because it was half off. I got a few baking supplies, these little like muffin or cupcake trays, and then the hearts because they're just so cute. I think the heart ones were, I think, 40% off, and then this one I think was 20. Like I said, the deals weren't really that great, but everyone was there buying up all the stuff. So I just thought if it was something that I could use, then I would look at getting it because otherwise it would be gone. I got some stickers. I use these a lot in my scrapbook because my handwriting's not the greatest. But I just like the look of stickers. I thought these were really cute. Again, these I believe were 20% off of the normal price, and I thought they were fun. I got some more stickers like this kind that aren't letters because one, we like to travel a lot, and I like to use little travel stickers. The stickers and the paper really inspire me when I'm doing my scrapbooking. Like I will come up with the whole concept of a page just based off of like inspiration from a sticker or from a paper that I'm doing. And I also got this like little school one because I have done some scrapbook pages for kids in my family. I got these little calendar clips. They're like magnetic bookmark clips because I need them for my calendar. I have a little book that I keep track of all my YouTube stuff, like what I'm doing for the day, what videos I'm filming, what videos we want to release them by, our ideas for concepts and all of that. I have a little notebook and I need these little tags to keep place of what month I'm in. I got some more cutting mats for my Cricut. I got this pack of small paper. I just thought the flowers were really, really pretty and it's cute, and they're foil. Some of them are foily, and I think that that's cute. Like here's one that has some shiny foil on it. I got this big school days pack because again, I do some spreads for the kids in my family when they make big accomplishments or get some award at school, or you know, get straight A's on their report cards, things like that. I got another travel paper pack because like I said, we travel a lot, and a lot of these are so cute. I just thought these prints were really cute. And last, I got this little pack, the basics of paper. So mainly I just use this paper for the backing, the backboard, like the main page, and then like some of these little prints and things I will use like polka dotted ones. I probably will use for like framing my pictures or framing the stickers or making borders on things. So I don't know, it's always nice to have just the basics like stripes and hearts and dots and stuff for borders and accents of things. So yeah, just really cute, but I wanted to get it before everyone bought everything up, that way that I have it. And y'all, I have made 2 recent book purchases that I thought I would share with you real quick because it's just fun. I went to Barnes & Noble the other day and I had such a good time. I haven't actually been to a Barnes and just been by myself and had time to do whatever I wanted there. So I did get some time. I went to Barnes. I was by myself. I just browsed books. I came up with a bunch of books that I was interested in, and I sat down and read just the first like couple of chapters maybe of the books and tried to pick some out that I wanted to read. And the reason I went there to begin with was to get this guy. So I haven't read all of Sons of Darkness yet. That's the first book in this series. This is the second book of the series. But I have read the first like 15% of it. And although there have been complaints about the writing and people not liking the book, and I hear you, I agree with a lot of it. The writing is not the easiest to digest. It's not a book that you can just fly through and not have to think about. It is kind of hard to get used to the writing style. It is also kind of difficult for me personally because I'm not used to the kinds of names that are assigned to the characters in this book. But the story that is unfolding is impeccable. this story is very, very dark. It's a grim, dark fantasy, and it's very brutal, very, I don't want to say it hasn't been violent yet, but there has been like torture stuff that is like just stuff I've never even thought of before. And the story that is unfolding, I feel, is just epic. And the prologue in Sons of Darkness, let me just grab the book real quick. So the prologue in this book is amazing. I was sitting on the couch with my husband. He was watching TV. I read the prologue of this and I had to put the book down and talk to him about it. And he's not a reader, so he really did not care at all. But I just was like, wow, that was the best prologue I have read in so long. Oh my gosh. I can't, honestly, off the top of my head, can't think of a better prologue, but I'm sure there is one. It's just not coming to mind, but that's how long it's been since I read a prologue this good. So this was a fantastic start. And if you can get through maybe the writing style, then this could be a good book. And it's, like I said, it's a book you have to take your time with. It's not one you can read quickly and one you can just shut your brain off and read. So know what you're getting into, but if you go into it with the right mindset, I think the story that's unfolding in this is going to be epic. So I went out and bought the second book in the series, and it is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, which is gorgeous. I also saw this book there, and it's a YA book, and it was a Barnes & Noble book club pick, and I have seen it on the internet before, people talking about it, so I picked it up and read the first couple of chapters and decided to buy it, and that is Our Infinite Fates by Laura Steven. And this book is about a couple that the male love interest has to kill the female love interest before her 18th birthday, and they live over multiple lives in multiple different locations, and you're kind of trying to figure out why he has to do this. And in the main one that you read about, they fall in love before he has to kill her. So I just thought that was a very interesting concept. And the last thing I got, y'all, I could not resist. I saw a bunch of Fourth Wing merchandise, and I bought these book clips. Oh my gosh, I saw these hanging, and immediately I was like, oh, look how freaking cute Andarna is. Look how cute Andarna is. And I was like, oh, look, there's Taryn and there's Sigel, and look how cute Andarna is. It's so cute. And then on the back, it actually gives you their names. I don't know if, yeah. But just super duper cute. I just couldn't resist getting these because look at Andarna. Look how cute she is. Ah! So that's just my little haul, and now I'm going to get back to reading.
All right, guys, I have an update. This is much more enjoyable to get into and read than I was having with the Rule of Three. So I am very glad I picked a new TBR jar read, because I remember after having picked this up at the library that I did really want to read this at one point, and it is a while ago, but that doesn't matter. Obviously, new books aren't always the ones that need to get all of the attention. A quick recap of what I've read so far. I am almost about 50 pages in, and I showed you guys a little bit where it is set up differently than your typical book because it's showing you all kinds of different types of information like this. And what this is showing you, the premise of this is there was a murder of a filmmaker's father 20 years. It's going to be the 20-year anniversary. He was 10 at the time that his stepfather passed away. And there's just some kind of interesting tidbits that you get along the way. Like his stepfather was only 26. His mom at the time was 40. And his mom wasn't home at the time of the murder, but he is researching it in the format because he is a filmmaker. His family is rich, but he's doing it via a television show. This television show does like a deep dive. It's kind of like Dateline, but they're doing it in a format that they bring all of these specialists in, and they're trying to look at all of the evidence and see if they can figure out what happened. So kind of like a cold case 2020 with a panel of experts. That's the best way that I can describe it. And they're interviewing friends and family. They're digging into the evidence and forensics of what the murder had at the time. And the way they're showing you, though, a lot of it is like script of a TV show. So you're like reading it as a script of a TV. And at first I thought, is this going to get annoying because it's different? But it actually is going really fast. So you're reading as if you are watching the TV series. And it reminds me, what's funny is it reminded me of the series that happened on Netflix, and they dig into cold case murders. And I thought JonBenet Ramsey was one of the ones I remember watching. And right after I thought that, it literally commented on previous episodes had gone over, and it listed JonBenet Ramsey as one of them, which I thought was funny. Obviously, this is a fictional murder. It's not something that was real. But already I start, like, as soon as they start saying what was happening right before his stepfather Luke got murdered, as I'm getting evidence and as you're being told what they're looking at, I already start thinking like, I wonder if this happened. So it's making you start, like, as viewers often do when you're being presented evidence, like the JonBenet, you start thinking like, oh, all of this evidence, maybe this is what happened, or maybe this is who did it. So definitely a better experience so far. And though it's like 480 pages, it's thick, it's also not like your full pages. So it's not going to take forever to read, I don't think. I will give you guys an update on this once I've read more. And then also I got book mail today, again from Macmillan, so I wanted to see what it is. I'm scared it's the same book because they came a day apart, but let's see what book mail I got. Every time I get one of these, I'm always excited because I'm like, oh, what if it's like one that I really, really want? And sometimes I even hope for getting one that I have an electronic ARC for, because I do prefer to read physical books. It's not the same one. It's fiction, and it's called Psych. And I love the purple. It's really, I love that color. I mean, that grabbed me right away, is the color of it. This one is a story of boy meets girl meets AI therapist. Psych explores our aching pursuit of love and self-control. It sounds like it shifts between Adrian and Mackie's perspectives as it tracks their first year of their relationship. And it's two people wrestling with connection, identity, anxiety, success, and the limits of our obsession with self-analysis and awareness. It does say for fans of Sally Rooney, and I did read a couple of Sally Rooney, and I did enjoy her books, so that is interesting. I am excited that I got another ARC and add it to the huge pile that I already have, and I really, really, really try and get to. But anyway, back to Murder in the Family. I'll let you guys know when I have more updates.
All right, y'all. It's 8:30 in the morning. The sun is blinding me. Hold on a second. Let me do my again. All right. I think that's a little better. At least I can see better. I'm sure there's some weird shadows that you're seeing. But I'm about to go to Panera, and I have so much editing to do. I'm so behind on some stuff. But I'm not really feeling Panera today, so I'm going to go to the library. I'm going to go to Panera and get my coffee, but then I'm going to take it over to the library and get some editing and stuff done there. But I do have an update for the Half King, and I am 84% in according to the Kobo, so I've definitely been doing some reading, and I haven't been vlogging all of it because most of the reading I've been doing because I can't sleep at night. I don't know what is wrong. I just like cannot turn off my brain. So I don't know if y'all feel the same way sometimes. Like, I don't know if men feel this or not, because I definitely know my husband does not. We have talked about it numerous times. When he goes to bed, he just like turns his mind off and goes to sleep. It does not matter what was going on in the day, what has to go on the next day. Like, he just does not care. And I asked him about it, and he said it's because he knows there's nothing he can do about it in the middle of the night. So that, although that makes sense, I still, my mind does not accept that reasoning, and I will wake up in the middle of the night and I can't shut my mind off and go back to sleep. I'm just constantly thinking about things like what I have to do the next day, what happened to this day, what if I forget this, what if I forget that, oh, let me write that down, let me make a notification in my phone to remind me, and then I'll pick up my phone and start, putting notifications so that I'm like, okay, it's in there, I won't forget, now maybe I can rest. But I have been reading, because reading also helps me like turn off my mind, and I'm thinking more about the story in the book than what I have to do the next day. So it's been helping, but I've been doing a lot of reading on this, and I am 84% in, and according to the Kobo, that means I have an hour left of reading. If you look here, it will tell you, I don't know if you can see it because of the shadow, 84% read and 1 hour left. So the book is going very fast. It is a fast read. I really didn't expect anything more with romantasy. I've read a lot of romantasy books lately, and they've kind of been just fun reads, like while you're reading them, they're fun and entertaining, but they're not books that are just, very deep or make you think about them long after you're done reading them. They're just fun for the time. And that's exactly how this book is. It's not young adult, by the way. There is some spice in here, so definitely not young adult. I would definitely not give this to a young adult reader. Definitely not appropriate for that. But it's just been really fun. It is a little different than some of the other books, but it's also kind of the same as some of the other romantasy books that I've read. Basically, you're following, and I thought her name was pronounced Cersei, but the more that I read it, it's either Cerise or Cerise. I think it's Cerise. That sounds better than Cerise, but I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the main character's first name. It's Cerise. So I think that's Cerise instead of Cersei. Anyways, y'all know I'm bad with names. Like, that's just, you just expect that because I don't know how to pronounce anything. But Cerise is at the, I already told you a little bit about her, I think. Did I tell you? I don't know. I don't remember how much I've told you about this, but Cerise was training to be an oracle, but she doesn't have this gift. She needs to be an oracle yet. So this oracle she's training under has this vision and sends her to the castle, because she says that's where you're supposed to be, and you're supposed to break this curse. That curses the highborn firstborns of the families. So she goes there. She has no idea what this means, what she can do, and she meets the king, and they call him the half king because his curse is that at nighttime he becomes a shadow, and he goes into the shadows at nighttime. And then he materializes during the day. So that's his curse. And she meets him, and it's kind of like, not enemies to lovers, but he's kind of grumpy. I would say it's more of like, he starts out really grumpy, and it's kind of grumpy sunshine, I guess. And then, but very quickly, they start getting to know each other a little bit better, and they kind of become amicable with each other. Not exactly like in love. It's definitely not insta love. In fact, I would say the romance part is probably a slow burn. But they kind of can't avoid each other. And then Cersei realizes that what she has to do to break the curse, and she starts wanting to do this for her sister because her sister is pregnant, and she doesn't want her sister's baby, which will be her sister's firstborn, to have this curse on it. So they go on this adventure, let's say, to do the things she needs to do to break this curse. And it's been entertaining. I've really enjoyed it. I've liked it a little more than some romantasies that I've read as far as entertainment factor. It's been very easy to read. It doesn't take a whole lot of brain power, that kind of thing. If you're looking for a read like that, I think this is a great book. It's probably not going to be 5 stars. I'm just being honest. I know what I look for in books that are 5 stars, and this is not going to be a 5 star, but it's definitely probably could potentially be a 4-star. So we'll see. I'm going to finish reading. Hopefully I can get that done today. I want to do some editing and then finish up reading, and I will catch back up with you all when I have some final thoughts. And I'll just bring you along to the library. Do y'all want to see the library? I know you've seen it before in my videos, but I can bring you again and we'll see. We are doing Luck of the Library for our March secret pick, but I don't want to use this library for that, and I will, well, you have to stay tuned for that vlog to see which library I use, but this library I'm not using for that. But it might be fun to just go browse the books and see what's going on at the library. So come along with me.
It's a new era at... Hi, what can I get for you?
Can I have a large dark roast coffee, please?
A large dark roast coffee. Just black?
I feel like I'm kind of obsessed with the way this book is set up. The premise isn't different in terms of a typical thriller with a murder and who are your suspects and trying to guess as to what happened and who did it. But the way it's set up, you're almost like reading a play because you're reading a transcript basically of a TV show, and it shows you documentation, and I showed you guys some of that from the book. But I'm now like 120 pages in. I feel the last couple videos I've made, I am making the mistake of saying what my theory is out loud, and then I can't really talk about it at the end because that would be spoiling it. So I do have a theory, and I feel there was a page that made me feel like I was right. I don't know. Again, you could be... Books like this tend to push you into one way of thinking, almost to throw you off of what's really happening and then pull the rug out from under you. It could be that. I don't know. So you're getting lots of information. You're seeing how the panel of experts are digging in and trying to come to a conclusion as to what they think happened. There's still a lot of book to go because I'm only like 120 pages in, but it's going very fast because the pages aren't your typical book. It's more like reading, like I said, like a play. I feel like it's going to continue to go fast, and I should probably stop paging through towards the end in case I see something that's going to ruin the book. So I'm going to go back to reading. I will let you guys know any more thoughts or anything that comes up that I think is interesting. See you soon.
All right, leaving the library. It was productive. I got a lot of editing done. I got a video uploaded and scheduled to go. They were having a book sale, which I love browsing, but I really didn't see anything that I wanted, so I don't know if it's been going on for a long time and it's just picked over. I have found some really good books. I found the Crescent City series at a library book sale one time, and the library book sales, usually if they're not having an actual sale, The usual prices are like 50 cents for paperback or $1 for hardcover. And it's not only library books. Other people will donate their books to the library to sell, to raise money. So you can find, like, you know, other people's books they've donated. It's not always library books. But when they have a sale like they were having today, where they have like too many books and they have this big sale going on, you can fill a cart or a basket or a bag, or you can fill like this whole thing of books for $4 or something. Or sometimes they'll have like 10 for $2, something like that. But I just didn't see anything that was interesting me. But I always love it when I go to the library and they have these sales on, because then you get to look, and if there's a book that you're just like not sure about, or you're interested in but you don't want to pay full price for, it's a perfect opportunity, because you can try the book for literally $1 or less, and if you don't like it, you just donate it back to the library or a little free library, or do whatever you do with it. And if you like it and you want to keep it, you can go and purchase a, you know, book from the bookstore to keep in your library. But anyways, I have finished The Half King, and I will be checking back in with you with my final thoughts. I kind of know how I feel about it. I have an idea of what I'm going to rate it, but I just need to digest the book a little bit more and think about it a little bit, and I will be back once I get home and have my final thoughts kind of collected.
It just ended I guess you can say a chapter after it goes over each episode. It kind of ends how the episode would, and there was a plot twist that I didn't see coming. It doesn't affect what I have as a theory, though. I'm still hanging on to, I think my theory is correct, but we'll see. I'm gonna keep going. It was an interesting plot twist. We'll see what happens next. All right, I read another chunk, but it just keeps going down this rabbit hole, and I'm not sure what's going on. There's so much more information being introduced, and I don't know. I don't know what to think right now. I hope it's not losing me. I've been very invested, so let's see what another chunk brings us. Wow, I wish I could have captured me reading the last few pages of this. It was the kind of ending where you think this can't be it. It was as if, almost like it ended on a cliffhanger, but it's more of a kind of resolution. If you don't overthink it, I need to process and think about it, and I will be back with final thoughts, but that was crazy. And I was kind of right. And I know I didn't say what my theory was. For the most part, I feel like that kind of happens, where in thrillers, you end up being partially right because it's a little more convoluted than just guessing the person. But I was definitely in the realm of being right. But it was way different. It happened much more different than I thought it would. Anyway, I'm gonna think about it, and I will be back with final thoughts.
All right, y'all, it is time. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Let's talk about my final thoughts on The Half King. This book was a very fun romantasy read. I feel like, you know, most of these romantasy reads are fun, quick reads. You can turn your mind off, get immersed in a world, get caught up in a story, you know, get invested in characters and their romantic outcomes. So it's fun. It was a fun time. I don't think this book was anything groundbreaking, earth-shattering. It's not a book that's gonna just stay on my mind and I'm gonna be obsessed with and think about it constantly. But it was a fun time. I think I'm gonna end up giving this 3 stars. I think 3 stars is good because it was a very, you know, it was a solid book. For me, 3 stars isn't bad, 3 stars is good, but it's not quite the level that I put some of my 4-star books on, and, you know, it's definitely not 5-star because it's not something that I felt was just epic and perfect. Definitely not perfect. I do want to continue the series. The book ends on a cliffhanger, and so I will be looking for the next book to come out to kind of continue the story because I am invested in the characters. I do think it was a fun time. I do want to find out what happens with these characters and how this world starts shaping up in the next book. So I am looking forward to the sequel or the next book in this series. I have no idea how long the series is planning on being coming out, and I'm going to pick it up when it does release. So I've been reading a lot of romantasy books lately, and I just want to know y'all's opinions. If you read a lot of romantasy books, like, give me some good recommendations for ones. The ones I've been reading lately have been so-so. Like, they've been really fun and entertaining in the time you're reading them, but they're not books that really just sit with you, that are just, you know, 5-star bangers that you think about and become obsessed with or anything. So let me know if you have read one lately that you really love. Then please put it in the comments below. You don't have to type a whole message if you're like concerned with typing a whole message out. Just type in the title and author, or just the title of the book or series, and I'll look it up, because I'm really enjoying reading romantasy and fantasy books, but I feel like I've just been a little lulled into how I've felt about them lately. I haven't read any ones that have just really blown my mind. So, and I'm looking for that. So please give a girl a recommendation in the comments below.
Time for final thoughts. I have thought about it. It's been a day since I have read this, and you saw my reaction to the fact that was not expecting the ending, though I guessed part of it. It was, and I thought I had guessed almost all of it, but it still didn't go the way I thought it would go. I was very surprised at the very end how it ended for good. I know I already said this, but I was turning the page looking like, okay, that's it? Aren't we gonna find out more? And especially the way you're told. So I very much enjoyed this. It was starting to be a 5-star book for me, but there were some, I think I recorded, where it started to really go in some strange rabbit hole. I don't know if it was considered plot twist. It was just, it started to do some things where I was getting confused and I didn't know exactly what was going on. It almost was like chaos. And it's the only way I can talk about it without literally saying what happened and ruining plot points. But I don't feel like it lasted too long. So to me, this was a 4-star book. I was starting to get concerned it was going the other way, but then it regrouped and went down the path I originally thought it would. And I don't know if people would guess. I mean, even towards the end, one of the characters said that it should have been more obvious. Why didn't we see this? Like, I'm trying to say it in a way that's not going to give it away, but they almost said that it felt like it was obvious. And I don't know if I would say it was obvious. I just know, I feel like I've been saying this a lot in vlogs recently. I just read so many of these that you start to know where to look and what to expect. And that's good and bad. I mean, good in terms of, okay, it's honing your skills, like your investigative skills, or honing what you pay attention to. But also it's going to take more and more to make me really love a book without being bored, I guess is the only way to say it or look at it. I don't like that feeling per se. I can always count on Frida to have the crazy plot twist. I mean, now and again, she'll have something that seems relatively guessable plot points, but I can rely on Frida at least. I am very glad that I picked another out of the jar and didn't force myself through the first one, which was the rule of 3. I am very, very glad that I didn't force myself through that. And Amanda and I were kind of texting back and forth about DNFing books. And at first I thought she was alluding to that she has DNF'd like a huge amount. And it wasn't. It was just that she's kind of saying what I'm about to say is not hesitating. If you're not invested in that book, if you feel like you're pushing yourself through, just toss it and move on. I feel like that is a very good rule to read by, is if it's not grabbing you. I told her, and I still have some hesitation on it. I feel like I want to go a little bit, because I feel there have been books that I wasn't impressed per se at the beginning. I wasn't hating reading it. It just wasn't grabbing me fully. And I, just pushed myself a little bit, and I ended up really loving a book. I can't remember what those are at the minute. I should have thought of that before. I didn't know I was going to talk about it. I should have thought about which ones those are. If I think about them before I edit this, I will put one or two on the screen or write it on the screen. But I feel like there have been books. I feel like God of the Woods by Liz Moore is one of them. I feel like it was a little slow in the beginning and I wasn't sure. I didn't know what was happening. It was a much slower paced book. And I loved the ending of that book. And it made me glad that I stuck with it. So God of the Woods by Liz Moore is definitely one. But I know there are more. If I think of any more, I'll put them on the screen. Thank you for watching as we picked titles out of our most anticipated TBR jars. It's one of the vlogs I look forward to, even though I would say the past few that we've done, I end up with ones that I am DNFing. But at least they're getting out of the jar. At least I know what it is and I don't have to worry about, oh, I want to read that anymore. So to me, that's not necessarily a bad thing. And this time I ended up picking a second one that was very, very, very enjoyable. I love the format of this. If you like, and I know I've been showing it through the whole vlog, but if you liked, it's almost like mixed media. It's a different way of reading a book for sure. And I don't know if everyone would enjoy it as much as I did. I feel like you would have to get used to the different format. But I thought the twists and turns and then how it ended was just fantastic for either true crime junkies or psychological thrillers, even murder mystery. I believe this would be something that you would love to read. If you've read this one or if you've read Amanda's, please feel free to rate in the comments your thoughts on these books. Would love to hear from anyone watching what you either think of it or if there's anything it made you think of in terms of recommending to us. Thanks again for watching, guys, and until next time.